check, I might do it again. Enemies close, have me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again.
Hustler. Hustler Casino Live. Hope you guys are enjoying my very well done intro music. We keep it very simple here, guys. Very simple, very cheap, but very classy. I'll figure this out someday, trust me. But anyways, Hustler Casino Live. We're talking about the scandal today. The scandal. The accused cheating. Kind of give you my opinion. Kind of give you a quick rundown of what happened. There's a lot of questions out there. People are asking me my opinion, and trying to text novel is just hard to do. So I figure let's make just a podcast strictly about this cheating scandal. So real quick backstory on Hustler Live Casino. They're a live poker show. They've been doing it for a year now. They are the most successful poker live cash game show in the world. It's a casino in LA. It started off, there was a lot of live streams that started, I believe, in like Texas. There was one that was in Sacramento. There was one in LA at the bike, and then a couple people that played in the bike game left to start their own at the Hustler Casino. Ryan Feldman, and his name's Ryan Feldman and Nick Fertucci. So they're like the main producers of the show. They are the creators and owners of this show. They used to play the live stream at the Bicycle Casino card room down in LA, and they left, and they were looking at other card rooms in LA to work with, and they felt that they just felt the magic, and they just felt it with Hustler Casino, and they said, let's do it, let's roll with it, and they're now the most successful live cash game poker stream in the world. And this is the one I reference a lot. I reference this show a lot, especially my first couple of podcasts. This is one of the shows that I love to watch. They're Monday through Friday, 5 to 10 at night. Every single day is a live show. So let's talk real quick what they do about the integrity of the game, because this is going to be coming up when we talk about the scandal. They run, it depends, like on the smaller games, it's like an hour or 2 hour delay. In the bigger games, because they have 100, 200, 400 blind games where people are buying in for anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000, $600,000. There's more than $1 million, $2 million at the table at one time. Just this little casino in LA, and they are having these huge games. So what they do, like I said, if it's a small buy-in, because they do have like $5, $10 games. People are buying in for $1,000, $5,000. Those are like on hour 2 hour delays. But the big game, the Friday night game, is like a 3 hour delay. That's because of the integrity of the game. They don't want cheaters. They also take your cell phones away. They take your Apple Watches away. They take any way you can get to social media or connection to anyone outside of the poker room that they are in. If you can get connection, they take that away from you. And like I said, it's a 3 hour delay. So if someone did have a way of figuring out people's hands, there's no possible way that anyone can cheat and figure this out. So there was a casino that did a live stream. The casino was here, close to home here. It was in Sacramento. They were on a 1 minute delay. They used to do a live stream. I think it's shut down now. But there was a casino in Sacramento, and they did live streams with a 1 minute delay. Their big thing was like, oh no, we're totally live. We're raw. We're live. Like, okay, well, one guy was crushing the games. So they looked into it. Turns out, the guy would have his cell phone on the seat in his lap, like in his crotch. He would have his cell phone like in his crotch on the seat, and he would have a buddy Like, are you guys idiots? Like, are you Sacramento, the Sacramento casino? You're a bunch of morons. He is a live 1 minute delay feed. He would have the phone in his crotch, and someone on the outside world watching the stream would text him his opponent's hands. So if they had ace of hearts and an ace of clubs, he would get a text that says AH and AC. So he knew what his opponents had, and he's just crushing these games. Yeah, well, no shit. He knew exactly what his opponents had. So, it's a 1 minute delay, so he would play the first, bring in, and the flop he would play slow. And then he would get these text messages from his buddies on what they have. He would get text messages on other players' hands when he wasn't involved, so he knew what kind of player they were. And he got caught. Shocker. He's banned from all Northern California casinos. I can't remember the guy's name, but if you look it up on YouTube, Sacramento, just type in Sacramento casino scandal or something, live stream scandal. He's also banned from a lot of Las Vegas casinos. He's probably banned as long as if someone in the casino anywhere in the world knows this guy, he's not going to be allowed in. So anyways, this is before Hustler was a thing. So Hustler does a really good job with the integrity of the game. 2-hour delays, 3-hour delays, no devices at the tables. So how could, there's this girl named Robbie, she was on a stream last weekend with Garrett Adelstein, and she is accused of cheating. How could she cheat is what I'm thinking. The only way she could cheat is with production. The only way she could cheat is someone inside the Hustler circle of production was feeding her Garrett's cards. Which, why in the hell, when you are the number one best live stream game out there, why in the hell would you do that? That just that makes no sense to me. So this girl named Robbie, she's new to the live stream. She's only done a couple shows, but she does do the higher stake games. Garrett Adelstein, one of my favorite poker players, guy I love to watch live, he's been in the live stream for a while. He used to be at the Bike. Then when the two guys, Nick Vertucci and Ryan Feldman, left for the Hustler to start their own, they brought Garrett with them as one of their characters because they knew the only way, in order to succeed with this stream, you have to have Garrett in the game. People love Garrett. They want to watch Garrett. So they have a lot of good characters on the stream. They have really good action, really good games, and this is why they're one of the best in the world. So, last week there's a high stakes game, Phil Ivey week. Phil Ivey's in town. He's playing in the game. There's another guy named Eric Pearson who is a big Vegas guy. He owns a lot of casinos, a couple in Vegas, a couple in Washington, maybe one in New Mexico. Anyways, he's a newer guy to the poker world, but he is high action, and he talks a lot. So this could be a whole other podcast with Eric, but he got into it with Phil Hellmuth, called Phil Hellmuth for being a bitch, live TV, flipping him off, telling him he's a fucking idiot. The poker world erupted. This guy's great, calling Phil out, because Phil always calls people out, but Phil Hellmuth can't be called out because he's the best in the world. But anyways, different podcast. But Eric Persons is in the game, Phil Ivey's in the game, of course Garrett's in the game. And this new girl, up-and-coming girl who's been playing in the higher stake games, her name's Robbie. She's some, I think, model or Instagram influencer or something. She's playing in the games. Well, they get involved in a hand that broke the internet. So Garrett, I think it comes down to the blinds. Garrett's maybe small blind, she's big blind. Or maybe Garrett's dealing, I don't know. But it came down to the two of them. Garrett bets, she calls. He has ace of clubs, 7 of clubs, and she has jack of clubs, 4 of hearts. Now, yeah, pretty weird call, but it's heads up. And Garrett has a history of the last couple streams of pushing her around, being a bully, and her not calling, obviously, and then watching the streams after and being like, oh my god, this guy's fucking just kicking me around the poker table. And I think she literally is just like, fuck that. I'm going to get in a huge hand with this guy, and I'm going to calm him down. This is how I really think she thinks. So they're heads up, and she's just probably like, man, fuck it, I'll see a flop. Jack of clubs, 4 of hearts. Flop comes 9 clubs, 10 clubs, 10 heart. Garrett has an up and down straight flush draw. Good chance she doesn't have a 10 because there's 2 out there, so he could hit a 7 or an 8 and be ahead. He could hit any 6 and be ahead, hit any jack and be ahead, any club and be ahead. So the obviously when you watch things live, they show the percentages. Garrett was 47. Garrett was 47% to win, and she was 53% to win. So it was pretty much a coin flip. He bets out with just the world monster draw, and she calls. And then the next club was a 3 of hearts. She has jack 4. Absolutely nothing. And he bets. She raises that 3 of hearts, raises. He goes all in for 125K, putting her all in. She thinks about it, talks about it a little bit, and she calls. The board is 9, 10, 10, 3, 2 clubs. She has jack of clubs, 4 of hearts. She has nothing. Garrett asks if she wants to run it twice. In poker, you can run, especially these high stakes games, you can run it multiple times, give yourself better equity to win. And they just hope when they have a $300,000 pot, it's like, hey, if we split, let's just split, whatever. So a lot of times people run it twice. But Garrett, in this instant, he didn't want to run it twice. He said, I want to go 1, but it's up to you. And she thinks she's dead, right? She only has jack high. So she says, well, let's run it twice. In her mind, give me a couple chances to win because I have absolutely nothing. It ran out like deuce, ace. No clubs for Garrett. So Garrett flips over his card and goes, hey, you got it. I got 8 high. And she flips her cards over. And she wins with jack high. But the whole table is like, what the fuck? Like, you just called $125,000 with jack high? And Garrett looks like he just saw a ghost. He is just like beside himself. He's like, he doesn't even say anything for like 5 minutes. He doesn't even know what. And then he finally says, "What was your thought process with that hand?" And Robbie made the big mistake here, because personally, I think she's on a live stream. She's playing with hundreds of thousands of dollars, and most of it's not her money. She is a backed player. She has, like I said, the lights, the stream, the money, the fame of who she's playing. Phil Ivey, Eric Persons, Garrett Adelstein. Like, she has to be nervous as hell, right? Like, this has to be just crazy for her. She's an up-and-coming, higher stakes player. She's an amateur, more of a rec player. And she's playing in this huge game. And so she starts talking, and she doesn't, and I think she's so confused and so like, holy shit, I just won. I can't believe I called that to begin with, that she doesn't know what to say, and she's digging herself a hole. Now it's sounding very suspicious. So Garrett, in all of his years of live stream poker, playing the biggest games, he will never leave early. He will play until the stream is over, for the viewers, for the production team, for the casino. He plays until it is over. He got up, he walked away, and we saw him talking with production in the back of the, like if you're watching the film on the live stream, you can see him in the casino floor talking with production. And production comes and gets Robbie, and they talk for a little bit. Robbie comes back and grabs $125,000 off of the table. And Garrett comes back like a minute later and puts $125,000 in his stack. And Eric Persons, the big cash game guy, the casino owner, sitting next to Garrett, sees that he puts the money down, and he goes, "Did she just give you that money back?" And Garrett didn't say anything. And there was another guy at the table who was playing, not a well-known guy to the stream, but his name was R.I.P. It was Rip. And he gets up and he just starts yelling and throwing a scene. And he goes out to Robbie, and you can hear him on the stream in the background, but you can hear him going, "Did you just give him the fucking money back? What a fucking pussy. That guy, Garrett is a fucking pussy. He lost fair and square." And everyone's really confused. Everyone's like, why is this guy going off like this? Well, come to find out later in the stream, apparently they're business owners together. They're like business partners. They're business partners, and apparently they're like boyfriend and girlfriend. And he is her backer. So really, if you think about it, she was like giving back his money. So that's why he was so pissed off. And it got so bad to the point Garrett left completely. He packed up his chips and he's left. And he has never done that in the history of live streams, which he's been doing for like 20 years, he said. He's never left a poker game early. So this guy, Rip, is just going bananas. And everyone at the poker table, even Phil Ivey, is just like, what the fuck's going on? It's just like no one knows what's going on. And they're just all talking about it, talking about the process of it. Why would she be cheating? How could she be cheating? Why would Garrett ask for the money back? Why would she give the money back? So, there's two sides to the story. Robbie says when they were talking that Garrett was threatening him, and also she says threatening him in a dark hallway. We saw they were in the middle of the casino floor. So now she's talking. She shouldn't be talking again. Right now she's talking out of her butt again. Like, oh yeah, he was threatening me in the hallway, and he said I had to give him the money back. It was the only way he was gonna play again. Okay, well, he didn't. It wasn't in a hallway. We saw you on the casino floor talking in front of production, and Garrett came out and said, I would never threaten her or anyone, and I did not threaten her. I was just trying to question her and ask her, how does she come to that call? Because Garrett legitimately thinks she is cheating, and he doesn't want to play in a crooked game, obviously. When you have hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table, you don't want to play in a crooked game. So he is accusing her of cheating. And he says that she offered it. He never threatened her for it, never wanted it, but she offered it, and he said, because he's in his mind she's cheating, he said, yeah, sure, give me my money back. And she gave it to him. So now she's looking even more suspect. She's looking guilty. She gave him the money back. Now everyone is like, oh my God, she is cheating. Well, here's my take on the whole situation. Like I said, Robbie is an up-and-coming amateur poker player playing lower stake games, getting backed and bankrolled into these higher stake games by this Rip guy, which we now have found out. And she's playing under the lights in front of millions of people with some of the biggest poker players in the world. I honestly think, because she said later that she misread her hand, because when they were during the actual live live interaction of the actual hand, she did say our three's good. Remember, the turn was a 3, but she had Jack 4. She did say our three's good. I honestly think she misread her hand. She was embarrassed by it. Because if she had Jack 3 with a 9, 10, 10 board, it's very odd. It's very hard for him to have a 10 because there's 2 on the board. This is a draw-heavy board. He could easily be drawing here. And she, with all the history she had with him and him picking on her, she said, fuck it, I'm calling this guy with just my 3. I'm calling this guy. He's drawing. But then she flips her hand over and she had Jack 4, which, lucky for her, ended up winning anyways. But she knew that looked really, really bad. That call looks bad. And she just didn't know what to do. And she's just rambling on and talking, and nothing she is saying is helping her case, and nothing she is saying makes sense. But I think that's because she is so flustered, she's intimidated where she's playing, how much money she's playing for. I honestly think it is just like a fluke hand. She just she was beside herself. She couldn't believe she called and misread her hand, but then she couldn't believe she actually won $250,000 with Jack high. It's very, very, very weird. But I really do not think she was cheating. She then goes on to when during the table talk, when like I said earlier, she should never have opened her mouth. But during the table talk, right after the hand, when Garrett's trying to get information from her, like, why would you call that? What? She goes, I thought you had, well, at one point she said, I knew you had nothing. I thought you just had ace high. And, and he goes, but you had Jack high. So why would you call $125,000 if you thought I had ace high with one card to come and you had Jack high? And then she goes, well, yeah, she, all of her talk, and then I think she gave the money back, honestly, because she kept saying in an interview after the hand, she kept saying, I don't want drama. I love this stream. I want to continue to play. I don't want drama with the production. I don't want drama with Garrett. And she says, I asked him, what will make this better? And he said, give me my money back. So she did. So, I don't know. There's a lot to think about here. A lot going on in this topic. So, let me know what you guys think. I personally think there's no way she is cheating because I don't think it is possible unless someone in production is helping her, which I cannot imagine why they would want to do that or ruin their reputation. Because Ryan Feldman, the owner of it, he is always there every day. He is in the production booth with a couple coworkers and one announcer. There's no way this would fly. I just do not think she was cheating. And I really, as much as I love Garrett, he should never have taken her money back because she won fair and square. And he should not be accusing her of cheating unless he 100% knows it. He can go talk to production and then he can leave. Let production handle it. But yeah, just crazy, crazy times in the poker world right now. It's getting a lot of buzz. It's taking over the poker Twitter. It's just crazy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope it kind of cleared any questions you might have had. There's a lot of questions that I have, but we'll just have to wait and see until someone comes out with some more answers or an interview. There's a big investigation on it right now, so Hustler Casino's doing it, so we'll see what they come up with. All right, well, thank you for joining Punt Talk, little poker talk here. So I'll put in the comments if you don't want to listen to poker, don't listen to this at all. So, but I believe this was episode 5, Punt Talk. Get you guys next time with some fantasy stuff. All right, take it easy, guys. We're out.